Police department says a suspect is in custody as authorities investigate a murder earlier this afternoon. Today around noon, police say they responded to a home in the 900 block of Tanner Drive of reports of a gunshot victim. When they got there, police say they found a 31-year-old woman with gunshot wounds. Officers say the victim was taken to a local hospital where she later died. Police say after talking with witnesses there on the scene, they identified a suspect known to the victim and arrested them shortly after at a hotel nearby. Police say the identity of the suspect, their charges, and bond information will be released following arraignment.
Shasmine Clack grew up in Texas and lived most of her adult years in Copperas Cove, a peaceful small town. Neighbors said she was all about her family, steering clear of trouble. She stayed tight with her loved ones, rarely leaving home. As a mom of 5, she worked hard to keep her kids fed, clothed, and cared for, never complaining despite the challenges. Her focus was always on their safety and happiness. Money was tight, but Shazmine made it work. Her family called her generous, always helping others with food or clothes, even when she had little for herself. She wasn't one for parties or going out, she spent her days at home or walking her kids to the bus stop. Some saw her as quiet, others saw her strength, staying calm through tough times while keeping busy with her children. Shazmine had a past relationship with Alonzo Hunter, the father of her youngest child. They spent years together, but their bond had its ups and downs, details they kept private. She had no criminal record, no fights, and no issues at work or school. Shasmine Clack poured her heart into raising her family and getting by. Her life stayed out of the spotlight until everything flipped upside down. Before that, she was just an ordinary woman living quietly. When her name hit the news, people recalled the kind girl who always lent a hand. Her story spread fast online, with photos and tales shared widely. Many were stunned that someone so good could be gone so suddenly. Don't forget to hit subscribe and drop a comment. Where are you watching from? What do you think as this story unfolds? Your thoughts matter. These are real people, real tragedies, and lessons we can't ignore. Share this with someone you care about, it could change everything. Welcome to the True Crime Journal, your go-to for chilling cases, haunting mysteries, and deep dives into crime. From shocking real-life events to cutting-edge forensic breakthroughs, we're here to uncover the truth behind gripping investigations. Step in, explore the evidence, and get lost in the shadows of true crime. February 1, 2025, began like any other day in Copperas Cove. The Tanner Drive and Anderson Avenue neighborhood was calm that morning. Kids were at school, adults were at work or home, and everything seemed normal. But then, gunfire shattered the peace. Neighbors heard loud bangs near a house and quickly called the police. Officers rushed to the scene and found a woman, 31-year-old Shasmine Clack, badly injured on the ground. Paramedics sped her to Advent Health Central Texas, but despite the doctor's efforts, her wounds were too severe. She passed away soon after reaching the hospital. Police sealed off the area and started gathering evidence. Later that day, they named 27-year-old Alonzo Ezekiel Hunter, someone close to Shasmine, as the suspect. He was tracked down at a nearby hotel and arrested without a struggle. Charged with murder, he was booked into jail. The news hit the community like a lightning bolt, spreading fast on social media. Shock rippled through Copperas Cove. Nobody expected such a violent crime in their quiet neighborhood, especially involving familiar faces. By night, the crime scene was locked down, the house eerily silent. Yellow police tape sealed off the street as neighbors peeked from windows, some shaking their heads, others frozen in disbelief. It was a grim day for the whole block. Local news jumped on the story, flashing Shazmine's photos on TV and online. Reporters said the investigation was active, but police kept details under wraps. A life was gone, and a criminal case was born. Police moved fast to find the culprit. Witnesses pointed fingers, and evidence zeroed in on Alonzo Ezekiel Hunter, the prime suspect. No stranger to law enforcement, Alonzo had prior run-ins with police. They tracked him to a nearby hotel, where he surrendered without a fight. Officers cuffed him and hauled him to jail. He stayed silent, dodging reporters' questions. The next day, Copperas Cove police confirmed Alonzo's arrest in a public statement, charging him with murder. His bond was set at a steep $500,000, keeping him behind bars unless someone paid up. Police scoured his hotel room and vehicle for more evidence and interviewed people close to both him and Shasmine. They believed they had a solid case. No court dates were set yet, but the legal gears were turning. The case landed with the district attorney's office, where prosecutors began digging into every detail. Detectives worked hard to build a case for trial, while the town buzzed with news of the tragedy. Local media shared updates on TV and social media, gripping the community. Those who knew Shasmine and Alonzo's families whispered about it or fell into heavy silence. By week's end, Alonzo was still locked up, and the police had wrapped up the first phase of their work. The courts were ready to take over. Word of Shasmine Clack's death hit her family like a tidal wave. Loved ones rushed to gather, some driving from far away, all desperate for answers that didn't come. Her sister, Shasmine Clack, spoke for the family, sharing with local news how Shasmine always put others first, especially her kids. "We never saw this coming," Shasmine said, her voice breaking. The family planned a memorial, inviting friends, neighbors, and supporters for a balloon release near Shazmine's home. People brought pink balloons, candles, and flowers, standing together to honor her. Photos of Shasmine dotted the area, and kids stood beside adults, clutching flowers. Some wore shirts with her face, others held signs demanding justice for Shasmine. The quiet event spoke volumes. The family also launched a GoFundMe to collect donations. The GoFundMe funds were set to cover Shazmine's funeral and support her kids. In just days, donations poured in from across Texas and beyond, along with heartfelt messages of support. Family members flooded social media with tributes, posting photos, videos, and stories about Shazmine's strength and love. They shared memories of holidays, birthdays, and small moments that now felt priceless. As the legal case pushed forward, the family stayed strong, rallying at court hearings and caring for Shazmine's children. They were determined to honor her name and keep her memory alive. Meanwhile, detectives dug deeper, returning to the Tanner Drive house to comb through it again. They marked spots, snapped new photos, and checked evidence. Inside, they found signs of a struggle, items knocked over, a broken phone on the floor. Near the back door, a spent shell casing confirmed where the gun was fired. Police also studied security footage from nearby homes, catching glimpses of movement on the street before and after the shooting. The videos helped trace Alonzo Hunter's vehicle, pinning down when he arrived and left. In the hotel room where Alonzo was caught, more clues were uncovered. Detectives grabbed a change of clothes, a bag, and a cell phone from Alonzo's hotel room, adding them to the case file. They believed these could reveal his moves before and after the shooting. Forensic teams tested fingerprints and DNA from the crime scene and the items, sending results to the lab to piece together a clear timeline. Police also dug into phone records and online activity, checking messages, calls, and social media to understand the relationship and what sparked the tragedy. The investigation was active but steady, with findings handed to the district attorney for court review. Every clue strengthened the case. After Alonzo Ezekiel Hunter was charged, he stayed in jail while court dates were set. Legal papers were filed, and both sides, defense and prosecution, geared up for battle. A judge reviewed the case, assigned Alonzo a public defender, and set the rules for the trial. Prosecutors pushed for the harshest penalty under Texas law, demanding no contact between Alonzo and Shazmine's family. Early hearings confirmed the charges and evidence, with the judge agreeing the case was solid to move forward. Lawyers on both sides got deadlines to submit more motions and evidence. Shazmine's family sat silently in court, with no disruptions as officials kept things calm. Some hearings were closed to the public, and the judge limited media coverage. Reporters from local stations showed up but could only share approved court summaries and records. The trial hasn't started yet, and experts say it could be months before a date is set. Both sides are busy reviewing evidence, talking to witnesses, and preparing testimony. The court hasn't shared more beyond public records, leaving the outcome a mystery until the trial kicks off. The case is still active, with detectives chasing new leads and gathering info. Any fresh clues will go to the prosecution before the trial. Shazmine's kids are now with close relatives, who are teaming up to keep them in school and on a steady routine. The community stepped up, providing meals, clothes, and school supplies for Shazmine's kids. Locals held small rallies to keep the case in the spotlight, passing out flyers and posting online to spread awareness. Organizers vowed to keep Shazmine's memory alive and the legal process moving. The district attorney's office is hard at work, preparing a strong courtroom presentation with expert testimony and solid records. Court staff are gearing up for a multi-day trial once a date is set. Lawyers urged people to stop spreading unverified rumors online, warning that misinformation could harm the trial's fairness. Some posts were even removed from social media at the legal team's request. Alonzo, the accused, hasn't entered a plea yet and remains in jail under the judge's conditions. The next steps hinge on early court reviews. Shazmine's name lives on in online tributes and community updates. Her family promised to stay engaged through the legal process, grappling with a new reality without her. Shasmine Clack's story is now tied to an ongoing case, but her loss, a life of quiet strength, family devotion, and daily care, already leaves a deep mark. Shazmine's loss ripples far beyond a single moment or place. Those who knew her carry memories of someone no longer here. Her absence has reshaped her home, her kids' lives, and how the town sees domestic conflict. For many, it's a stark reminder of how fast life can change. The community responded by talking more about safety. Support centers are getting more calls, and people are learning how to report concerns. Shazmine's story pops up in quiet chats, flyers, and even school discussions. Her kids' schools stepped up, offering comfort and stability. Teachers provide small gestures of kindness, while volunteers help with rides, lunches, and tutoring. Her name lives on in news reports, social media, and court records, etched into public memory. Newcomers to Copperas Cove might not know her full story, but her photo may linger in a church hall or her name echo in support groups. Even after her obituary fades, a piece of Shazmine endures. Though the courtroom case is ongoing, those she left behind are already navigating life without her. Shasmine Clack's name now carries a weight far beyond one person. Shazmine's story has touched countless homes, near and far. Though her life ended abruptly, her impact lives on in those who loved her most. Local groups quietly stepped up, using donations in her name to provide shelter, food, and essentials for women and kids in tough spots. These efforts are low-key but gaining strength. Online tributes keep her memory alive, with messages posted on birthdays, holidays, and family milestones. Her kids receive these heartfelt words from relatives, friends, and even strangers. They don't erase the pain, but they show people care. Some in the community started private gatherings to share stories like hers in safe spaces, away from the headlines, sparking a quiet movement of compassion. School staff and counselors keep a close eye on her children, tracking not just grades but how they handle challenges and heal. Every small step forward shows hope. Loved ones carefully saved Shazmine's belongings, notebooks, favorite clothes, family photos, to preserve her warmth for her kids to one day know her beyond the news. Her name may fade from daily reports, but in the places she lived, her spirit lingers in memories, lessons, and the choices her story inspires. At the True Crime Journal, we're driven to uncover hidden truths, honor forgotten voices, and keep their memories alive. If Shazmine's story made you pause, think, or feel something, get ready, more intense cases are coming. Hit subscribe, tap like, and turn on notifications to catch every episode. We're dropping new stories regularly, and what's next will give you chills. Before you leave, share in the comments, what moment hit you hardest? Your voice helps keep these stories alive. Stay alert, stay curious, and keep seeking the truth. Every life deserves to be heard.